What's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to the first episode of Off the Record podcast. I am your host, Shane Larkin, and before we get started, I would like to thank Gloria Hotels. They specialize in training for 50 different sports, hotels all over the world. I've been coming here for about 6 preseasons. They always seem to get me in shape before the season, so I want to thank them for allowing us to film this episode here. And now I want to introduce my co-host, NBA champion, EuroLeague champion, Israeli League champion, Turkish League champion. Guy just seems to win everywhere he goes, Mr. Elijah Bryant.
I appreciate it. So I think this is going to be a great space for us to be able to have guests on and really see what actually goes on overseas, not the stuff you see on other outlets. And so I appreciate you having me on. And I want to introduce our first guest, which was actually our teammate before.
Yep.
2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
2-time?
Back to back.
Back to back.
2-time EuroLeague champion.
Back to back.
Back to back.
So comes from Queens, New York, played at Fordham University. My brother, teammate, but a great friend of mine, Bryant Dunston.
What's up, man? Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on.
What's up, my guy?
Oh, man.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess the first question would be what got you into basketball, bro?
So my sister, she was playing basketball in college. So she played basketball growing up. She's my big sister. She is 8-9 years older than me. So I got to watch her growing up playing, and she was getting a lot of attention. I was a shy kid, just growing up in Queens. I didn't have too many friends, and I saw basketball as a way to make friends and meet people and stuff. So once I saw she was popular, I wanted to be like her, So she was really good. It was before the WNBA came around, so obviously she didn't have any after college professional basketball. But for me, I was like, okay, I want to play basketball. I want to make some friends. And then once I started playing, I fell in love with the game. I started watching. Me and her watch games. I became a Phoenix Suns fan because of her.
Sure.
To this day. She used to watch Charles Barkley all the time. I used to watch him. And I was like, okay, this guy's pretty good. So then I started learning more about the game and stuff. And then my dad took me under his wing. He was my coach. It just fell from there,
So your sister was your first basketball inspiration.
Yeah, for sure.
Then once you got into it, did you have any other players that inspired you to play the game of basketball?
Yeah, for sure. Charles Barkley was one. Kevin Garnett, obviously, big inspiration for me. Just the way he plays basketball, his intensity, and I try and mimic that. Just play with a lot of energy and show your passion through your actions. It's something I pride that with.
So Kevin Garnett was have you met him before or had the opportunity to meet him before?
Yeah. So actually, funny story. I was playing in Varese in Italy. Shout out to Varese. And they had a preseason game against Milan. And some of my teammates knew some of the players there. I knew Deontay Christmas was there. Rondo was on the team. So we went to the game, and afterwards we all went to the same place, the same club, whatever. It was a little pregame spot that we went to. And KG is intense all the time, right? So I see him standing there, and I'm like, man, that's KG. Like,
so you want to get a picture?
Yeah,
right?
of course. That's my idol. I was like, okay, I gotta go up to him and take a picture. As I'm about to walk up, first I build up the courage because I'm like, I don't want to disrespect the guy. He's in front of everybody. It's kind of weird. But I see one of my teammates at the time. I don't know if I should say his name. But
this pod, we telling the truth. We tell
live.
exactly.
I don't know. Listen, Akile. I don't know if you remember or not. I don't know if you remember going up to KG and asking him for a picture, but the way he rejected him, it was like he's like, I can't say the word.
You can't
I can't say it. Nah, I can't say it the way he said it.
Bleep it out. We'll understand by the bleep.
Right. He told him. He said, "Hey, KG, can I get a picture?" Fuck away from me, groupie ass bitch. And the way he responded to him, and obviously, KG's a very good dude, but we're out. You're trying to have a good time. You don't want to be distracted by anybody. Right. So the way he rejected him kind of like turned me off to asking for a picture. I was like, cool, let me just stay around him so that I could be like, I kind of met KG. So we went to the next spot after that, and everybody, I think Jason Terry came over. gave us high fives and stuff. And everybody was cool. So I got to meet a lot of my idols that day. So it was cool.
Very nice.
Super
Very
cool.
nice.
So obviously, like you said, your sister was a big inspiration for you growing up. At what point did you know, like, I might be able to like get a scholarship for playing basketball? I mean, obviously you knew colleges gave out scholarships, but like, what age were you like, okay, I can get my school paid for now?
Yeah. So my freshman year of high school, I was on a team, but I played basketball, but I wasn't that good. I was sorry. I was a little heavier. I was still, eating bad, still, drinking soda and doing all this stuff that I don't do now. And I didn't really train that often. I didn't take it as serious as I should have at that point. I remember to this day, the championship game my freshman year, we're playing against a team, we're up by 6. And the coach subbed me out the game. At the time, I was like, I'm the tallest guy on the team. Like, why are you taking me out the game? There are other, I think it was Zavarian we were playing against. They had another guy who was same height as me, and he was pretty good. But I thought I was a good defensive player. I was playing well against him. He said, "Nah, we got to take you out of the game because you're too slow." And we ended up losing. We lost by 6. And from that day, I was like, I'm not getting subbed out of any game because of my skills, So that summer, I got with a different coach. I got to work. I started running extra. I started eating right. Started doing the right things. And then, my skills started to come along. And then I started seeing that I was kind of getting better than my peers. And I was like, okay, I can kind of hang with everybody else. I might be able to get a scholarship or something. So it was definitely a different way, a different path, but it got me here.
So you would say freshman year going into sophomore year is when you really turned it on.
It was like a big jump, and I got taller too. So
you got taller. And then when did you get your first offer for college? Would you say?
So I was getting some lower mid-major offers, and I didn't really know what to do. Like, some people were like, "Oh yeah, you should just sign in the early signing period, just so you could be secure." And then some people were like, "You should wait because maybe you can play better and you can get better schools." So what happened was my coach was Jim Gatto, and his son was the head of Adidas at the time.
Okay.
So during that time they had ABCD camp, and there was the SARS epidemic that was happening in China, and because of that, a bunch of players canceled. They couldn't come over. So they were like, we need some people to fill the spots. And then my coach was like, yo, Brian is good. You can put him in there or whatever. And going there, playing. So I was on the team with Sebastian Telfair, Big Baby Davis, Richard Roby, Kenya Martin's brother. Yeah. So and Dwight Howard was there. I seen Sean Livingston was there. It was that year. So I played there. I played solid. I didn't do anything crazy, but I saw like, okay, this is supposed to be the best in the country, and I'm not that far away.
You're competing with them.
Yeah. Right. So at the time, Fordham University was at the school, was at the camp. Derek Wittenberg was there. He saw me, and he talked to my family and stuff, whatever. So from there, I was like, okay, I got a school. I don't want to mess this up, because like at the time, my parents, they were struggling to put me through school, Right. I went to a Catholic school. You had to pay, and the price is going up every year, And I think I found out later that my dad was my high school coach, my AAU coach, was helping my dad pay some of the stuff, So I was like, okay, I need to make sure I take care of this just so my family can be good, so we don't have to worry about school for me, you know. So I signed in the early signing period, and then after that, after school finished, I had a great senior year. Sitting there with Coach Gatto, and he's like, Bryant, he's like, are you happy with your decision? I was like, yeah, I'm happy with my decision. He's like, okay, I'm not going to tell you the letters that you got from other schools. He's like, it's going to make you feel the type of way. Right. So I never found out what schools were asking about me, but
still to this day.
Still to this day.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
If NIL was around back in that time, do you think you would have waited for the highest offer, or you still would have chosen the school that you chose? Because Fordham's close to home, right down the street.
That's the whole reason I chose it, because it's close to home, but it's not so close that I have to be home every day. I can still live on campus and everything be good. My parents can come to the game. Everybody can come to the games and stuff. NIL was, and that was so far away from me. Like,
Yeah. But if it was around,
if it was around,
Fordham offers you, they give you a certain number, and a school across the country offers you.
Okay, let's say Fordham offers you, they're gonna give you $300K.
Right.
And you got
$300K. That's a lot of money.
Let's say
That is a lot.
Let's say Auburn's gonna give you $700K.
Going to Auburn.
So do you think NIL has been beneficial, or do you think NIL is kind of ruining the college landscape?
You can't hate on it because you're like, the athletes have been working their butts off all these years and they haven't been getting the money, and now they're finally getting some money. It's unfair because it wasn't around in our time, but that's how it is. It's everything. At Fordham, they have a lot of benefits that I didn't have when I was there.
Absolutely.
And I feel like we built that foundation. So it's normal how things are, but I think it helps and it hurts a little bit. Absolutely. But the transfer portal, the guys leaving teams and going and the money situation, it's a lot. I'm glad
it's messy now.
It's messy. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that right now.
So you spent 4 years at Fordham.
Yeah. And
then you go into the NBA draft. You go undrafted.
Yeah.
Did you have workouts?
Yeah, I had a workout in Seattle when they were still.
You just dated yourself.
OG.
I was working out in Seattle. I think it was that was a year before they changed to New Orleans, or 2 years before. Worked out in Seattle. I thought I had a good workout there, and they had a bunch of picks too. I think they ended up picking Robert Swift with their last pick. Or no, it was early. He was one of the early picks, but I thought I did pretty well there. Went to Detroit, worked out there, and then I had a summer league. I was in the summer league with the Lakers, and I was doing pretty good there. And then I left to go to South Korea.
Okay, and then that's what my next question would be. What made you choose South Korea to be your first choice after college? So
I had no idea about Europe, EuroLeague, or anything. It was just my ignorance and not doing the research myself. I trusted my agent's opinions too much, and at the time he was like, "Yo," he's like, "You're in Vegas right now. There's a tryout for teams in South Korea." He was like, "You go there, you work out. If you make the team, that's easy $250 right there in your pocket. He's like, "That's the minimum for all players. That's like the base salary.
The minimum in South Korea.
He was capping?
No, it's true. Everybody's supposed to make $250.
Wow.
That's what, a league rule out there?
I guess so. In the contract, it's $250 for everybody.
I mean, coming from.
But as you know, under the table, people get extra whatever. But at the time, it was $250. So coming from college and getting nothing, I'm like, hey, that sounds good to me. I didn't know that going there, like when I got there, playing against a bunch of the other guys there, it was guys, later in their careers, guys trying to get their last checks or whatever, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like,
"He was out there eating."
Yeah, I was killing.
Hey, guy goes deep.
I was killing. I was like, they're like, "What are you doing here?" I'm a hooper. I'm trying to win a championship. They're like, "Bro, go to Europe. Like, what are you doing?"
Right.
So they're like, the competition is better in Europe. There's like, if you get your money, which is shaky. If you get your money, it's gonna be more than what you can make here. And it's like, if you really think you're that good, you go over there. If you play well, then you can go back to the NBA. I was like, okay. So I played 2 years there in South Korea.
So you played in Israel after leaving Greece. I'm gonna ask the same question at all these places that you played. What was the experience like in Israel in terms of basketball and culture?
Israel was great. Like culture-wise, the people were
Everybody
cool.
says that, bro.
Yeah, it was really dope. Like the city, like going to Tel Aviv. So I was on the beach side, like 20 minutes from Tel Aviv. When I first got there. Yeah. I'm not sure you know. 20 minutes away, 20-minute drive. Got there. So in Tel Aviv is awesome. Great food spots. A lot of nice people. Everybody speaks English. Well, most people speak English. Had a great time. Made a lot of friends and stuff. And then the next year, I was on the other side, but it was like 30 minutes. So it was like it was pretty much the same. But I had a really nice time there. It was cool, and great memories from Israel.
Oh, so it's Hapoel, and then next stop is where?
But but in the summer, I think it was that summer that I worked out with the Miami Heat. But I played the summer league with the Nets right before they went to Brooklyn. So we go to Orlando and work out. We're playing. Had a good summer league. Played against some guys, and I thought I did pretty well. It was on NBA TV, and everybody's like, "Yo, you playing well?" Everybody's hyping me up. And then David Pick, Doobie, my boy. He wrote something. I think he wrote an article about me at the time, as I was playing in summer league, and I guess people understood that I signed with the Nets. So I'm getting all these messages from people. They're like, "Yo, congratulations, you made it! Yo, finally we here." And I was like, "Damn!" Like, so I'm replying to people, "No, like, what you talking about? I'm not on the team, like whatever." Right. And but it was crazy because we had breakfast one day, and I'm standing there getting breakfast, and Avery Johnson walks up, and he's like, "Oh, Dunston." He's like, "You playing pretty well." He's like, "You might make the team." So I heard that, and I was like, "Yo, this is going well. This is going well." So at the end of it, I called Mike. "Hey, did you talk to Avery or whatever?" He's like, "No. What you talking about?" I was like, he said I might make the team. He's like, "Yeah, but you didn't." He's like, "They didn't call me or nothing." I was like, "Oh." So okay, that's enough. So I don't remember which year it was. Maybe it was that summer also that I worked out with the Miami Heat. I went down there for a month and worked out with some of the guys. I think Michael Beasley was on the team, Mario Chalmers. That's where I met Patrick Beverly. He was on there. Robert Dozier was there. A bunch of guys. And worked out for a month. I think it was like a little mini camp. Love Miami, man. Miami is great.
Great place.
Love Miami.
So you go to Olympiacos, which is in Greece. And who's the coach there at the time?
Barjokas.
Okay. Yeah. He's the coach the whole time? Whole time there?
So I was there for 2 years.
Before you answer, they won back-to-back the years before that. Was Bartokas the coach for both of those?
Ivkovic was the coach for the first one.
Okay.
Barjokas was the coach for the second one.
Okay, so then Bartokas continued.
Barjokas continued.
Okay,
so Barjokas was there. I came in to replace Kyle because Kyle went to CSKA. It's crazy how that happened. And I actually landed in Greece, and I sent Kyle a message on. I knew Kyle from.
They had IG back then.
No,
Facebook.
What year was that?
MySpace. They had MySpace.
No.
AIM.
They had. I think they had IG.
What year was that?
2012.
Yeah, I was in high school.
I was in college. Yeah, they had the gram.
They had Instagram, but nobody was really on it like that.
Yeah, it was like you had
Facebook
the gram, but then you had like the Insta DM. It was like two different entities.
I was sending messages to Kyle on Facebook, I think.
Yeah.
I might be able to go back and find it too.
That's crazy.
But I remember
we need the screenshot.
I remember I sent him a message like, "Yo, what's up, man? Congratulations on everything, whatever." And I was like, "If you got any tips about Greece, just let me know because I'm coming in, whatever." And he responded. He let me know he's really cool, and I was like, "That's a good dude, man." I was like, I didn't really interact with him before. I knew him. I played against him in college, and he was going to UNC Greensboro, yeah. And we played against them, and I seen him down there.
Who won?
I think we lost too, but I mean we lost a lot of games. But
who had better numbers though?
Don't remember that game.
I
don't really remember. I don't really remember. It's been so long, but. I remember he was a tough opponent. And I was looking, he wore 42, and every time you see somebody in your position wearing your number, you're like, "Man, who's this dude?" Like, so I was like, "I'm about to kill this guy and show him who's the real 42," you know. But yeah, so when I saw that he was leaving, I was like, okay, maybe I can pick his brain a little bit and figure out what's good around Greece, or something about the team that'll help me, start EuroLeague the right way. Because he was successful already.
Okay.
So. Do you want to ask this question about wifey? Since you were playing.
Okay. So
transition a little bit away from basketball for a second. Just for a second.
Let me take a sip.
So basically, obviously, for the viewers, you're playing Olympiacos, and they have a rival, which is Panathinaikos, and your wife is playing Basketball
Yeah,
for Panathinaikos. And how does that come about? Tell us about that situation of kind of like, let's say, how you guys met and how you guys dated as being rivals, considering the fan bases.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit to when I was in Italy. When I was there, before that, I usually had a girlfriend or something during the seasons, like, you know, every year. When I got to Italy, I decided, you know, I'm gonna be single the whole year. I'm just gonna enjoy and just focus on basketball, you know. So I did that. I had a great year. I was like, okay, that worked. So I'm gonna do it again. I got to Greece, to Athens, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the same thing. And it didn't work out that way. I met Anna, and like from the beginning, it was just like instant chemistry. But
Loving basketball type.
But
Love and basketball.
but so when I was in Aris the first time, I think I might have sent her a message on Facebook, right?
You still in the DMs.
Basically DMs back then. So right, I was like, okay, I'm sending messages to a bunch of chicks. You know how I do.
You would have told her.
So I was just sending messages just to interact with people. No copy paste. Everybody got their
own individuals.
So I sent a message, and I think she responded at first. So I tried to talk to her some more, and then she stopped responding. So she kind of like just left it alone. I was like, all right, cool. So years later, I go to send. I'm going through Facebook, and I'm like, oh damn, like this girl she's bad. I'm about to send her a message.
You spin the block.
So I go to send her a message. I'm like, oh, I was like, I talked to her before. And I was like, okay, I hope she deleted the message. So I'm about to try again. So I tried with a different approach. I'm more mature now.
Yeah.
I'm
now you big dog though.
Yeah, I'm a little different now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little different now. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was still, you know, first year in EuroLeague.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who I am or whatever. So I send her a message, and I'm just asking about the city, asking how things are. I noticed she plays for Panathinaikos. I'm asking about her team and stuff, whatever. We start talking about basketball. We start talking about her games, and then I'm like, hey, can I meet you? Can we meet up and talk, whatever, in person? She's like, yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's hang out. Meet me at this place, whatever. I go to the place, and it's her and all her friends there. It's like for I want to say it's like maybe 4 months. She would never meet me by herself. She would always bring other people. Until I like put my foot down, and I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to take you out on a date."
Right.
Like, I was like, "Can I have one date?" And she was like, "Yes, okay, we'll go on one date and we'll see where it goes." And we go on this date, and it's like, for me, it was like the perfect date. Right?
What's the perfect date? Explain it.
So we went to this beautiful seafood restaurant, and in Greece, there's a bunch of nice seafood restaurants, but this one was really nice. It was, you know, on the water and stuff. So the restaurant was.
You got a name?
I forget the name right now.
Would have shouted you out. Free meal.
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
Okay.
So we go on a date, and there's only a couple people there, a couple other people. Some music starts playing in the middle.
You got up.
Listen. In the middle of the meal, I put my stuff down. I stand up, I put my hand out.
Ooh.
I was like, come on now. Come on now, girl. You know? So she's like, sit down, you're embarrassing me. I was like, come on, man. So she starts laughing, whatever. I was like, okay, she's laughing, so that's good. So we started laughing, we're joking and stuff. We had a good time. And then from that day, I think the next day we met up, we had coffee at Starbucks or whatever. And I asked her, I think I wrote on a napkin, you know, you want to be my girlfriend. You know?
So after one date,
one date.
It'd been 4 months.
It'd been 4 months of us talking.
Yeah.
But after one date, I already knew.
Yeah.
So after that, I don't think we've been apart for longer than, I want to say a week.
And when was that? What year?
Maybe that first summer, I think we went on vacation together. I left to go to New York, and we were apart for a little bit, and then she came to New York, and then I came back to Greece, and then ever since then we've been together. You know, so,
2 beautiful kids.
Yeah, 2 kids. You know,
so there was
basketball story.
Got married in 2018. You know?
There was never a problem in terms of fan bases.
So this is the issue. So she came to one of our games. I think it was against Peristeri. It was a away game or something like that. And they might have seen her there. And it was a problem. So they showed her on TV, I guess. So I think her coach or the president told her to come to the office, and he talked to her and whatever. They took away, she used to wear number 13. In Panathinaikos, gate 13 is like their hooligan gate. You know, that's where all the big fans are.
Yeah.
So wearing 13 is a big deal. That's like Spinoza's wearing 7.
Yeah.
You know? So they took their number away. They told her, you know, you don't represent, you know, the club. You don't represent Panathinaikos. So they took her number away. I think they tried to like hold her paycheck. They were doing some weird stuff. Like it was like, bro, like we're just dating. Like it's not like you know, this is off the court stuff. It has nothing to do. But this is how serious their rivalry is. But on my side, everybody was like, hey, you got yourself a nice Greek girl. Like, hey, good. So nobody cared, you know. So she ended up having to change teams the next year. So she tore ACL, but she was gonna be finished with basketball after that because she said she had, it was like 4 or 5 surgeries, and she was like, yeah, I'm done. So, but it was just crazy how the opposites, being on the opposite teams, and even her fans started like throwing stuff at her.
Really?
Like, it's like, bro, it's not that serious. It's not that serious to me,
right?
Because I'm a foreigner, but to them, you know.
But now here's the question though: who got a better fan base, Olympiacos or Panathinaikos?
Olympiacos.
Ooh,
no question.
No question.
To
Undoubtedly.
To me.
Nah,
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. Olympiacos gave me the start.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They opened the door for me, and they brought me in when nobody else did. So I'm grateful to them for sure. Like,
so their fan base is better?
Yeah.
Okay, so since we're on that topic,
even though when I left, but that wasn't them. It wasn't there. It wasn't them. It was the media spinning everything. How I left, you know. But yeah, it was. I don't hold.
How did the media spin it? Though?
Yeah.
The media
What's
said
the truth behind it now?
Okay, this is the whole situation. The second year, we're going through the season, and it's a turbulent season because Barjokas left after the cup, so we lost the cup in a terrible way. We shouldn't have lost on the road, and then we had like this big thing with the fans at the gym when we finally got back.
Oh, is that when he couldn't go in the locker? Y'all stayed in the locker room for like 3 hours.
Yeah, we couldn't leave.
They were
throwing stuff. They were throwing stuff at the cars. They were grabbing the coaches. Like they were doing crazy stuff. Thankfully, none of the players got hurt. But you know, we ran to the locker rooms. But you know, they were upset because you know, the year before when I first got there, we were talking about three-peat. Yeah. We didn't win anything. we lost the cup. We lost the championship. And we didn't do well in the EuroLeague. We lost in Game 5 to Madrid. So they were upset and they wanted to win something. And after we lost the preseason cup, they were like, yeah, we had enough. So they got rid of him. They brought in Sfelopoulos, and it was a weird season. So during that time, I see them like trying to sign for the future. So I see Matt Lejeski re-signed. I saw Prentice's read up, Monzer's read up. So I said, okay, I just want Defensive Player of the Year. Let me re up to make sure I get some security here. And I tell my agent, I tell Mike, and I tell Miško, because Miško is a part of the deal now too. So I told him, hey, let's work on this, you know. And he's like, they're not getting back to me. It's a little weird, but we haven't been winning yet. So let's get on a little winning streak before I start asking some stuff. I start playing well. We get on a little winning streak. What's up? They're still not answering. Why not? I don't understand what's going on. So by the time we make it to Final Four, I get Defensive Player of the Year again. I was like, if they don't want to sign me now, they must not want me. You know? So I think he talks to them, and he shows me some emails of them going back and forth about my girlfriend at the time, who's my wife now. And I was like, what does that have to do with basketball? Like, what does that have to do with me trying to come back to the team? It's like, clearly I want to be on this team. And I was like, they're disrespecting me, first of all, and then now they're disrespecting my girlfriend. You know, I was like, this doesn't sit well with me. I'm starting to see like maybe things aren't so great, you know. So we finish the season, we sweep Panathinaikos, first time in history, and everything's great. So they call me in for a meeting, and they're like, "This is the first time that a player has come here, or whatever," which is bullshit because I know Spanoulis goes there to sign his deals, and I think Prentice went there to sign his deal. It wasn't the first time, but maybe the first time a foreigner went to have a meeting with the presidents. And they sat me there. We sat for a long time. They're telling me how much they want me on the team. They're explaining to me how important I am to the team. And then I'm like, yo, just tell me the offer. They slide the offer on the table.
They slid it to you, so they didn't say it.
Wrote it down, slide it on the table. I look at it. I was like, I'm gonna talk to my agent. We'll get back to you. So I leave, and Matt Lejeski's in Dubai with his family. I look at Anna. I'm like, "Oh, you want to go to Dubai?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm talking to Adonis at the time. I'm like, "Hey, can you get us the flights to Dubai like tonight, like whatever?" He's like, "Yeah, I got you." Whatever. He hooks everything up. We go. We surprise Matt there, and he's like, "Oh man, it's awesome." Whatever. And we're chilling the next day in the lazy river. We're on a little raft, whatever joint. I'm like, "Bro, I think I gotta leave, man." And he's like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I gotta go." And I was like, "It's just not." I was like, "Something doesn't feel right here, right now, you know." And he's like, "Whatever you feel, man. If that's what you're good with," he's like, "I'm cool with it too." I was like, "All right, cool." And Anna was good with it. And I was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna go to Istanbul because this."
You leave Olympiacos after all the things that were going on. You sign in Efes. How was your first few years in Efes?
So I break it up into two different parts. So I have the first 3 years, which was, you know, the
tanking years.
No. We weren't that bad. That was I call it the pre-golden era, right? And then you have the golden era. So the first 3 years, my first year we had expectations to be really good. We had a bunch of, you know, big name players. We had a legendary coach. It should have worked. They still had the group stages, and unfortunately we didn't make the top 8. So I don't even know if we made the top 16. Really? To be honest, I don't remember. But we might have lost in the top 16. But it was a bad year. We failed to reach expectations. We lost to Besiktas, I think it was
Besiktas was in.
No, we lost to Besiktas in the Turkish league.
Okay.
I want to say we lost to them that year. Weird year. Everybody was just ready to go home. It was one of those.
First year, whatever.
Yeah, Second year, got a bunch of new guys in. Tyler Honeycutt, RIP.
Rest in peace.
Jason Granger was there again. Hertel came back.
Sarge is there. Jetty.
No, Sarge left. He went to the NBA.
NBA at that time.
Jetty was there. Furkan was there. Derek Brown was there.
McCall.
No, Bryce Cotton.
Bryce came for a little bit. Alex Kirk was there. Deshaun Thomas was there. Brandon Paul was there. We had a squad, man. We was good, and I was really happy with that team. We pushed it. We went to play against Olympiacos in the playoffs.
We cooked y'all first game of the season though. Basconia.
Yeah, that was literally. Yeah, look, I remember that was the first game of the season, and
I played terrible. My first year league game, awful.
Did we win in overtime? Or we lost in overtime?
We lost at the buzzer. Bryce Cotton took a shot at the buzzer. And
no. The first game.
The first game, did we go overtime?
We lost. We lost.
Yeah, y'all lost. It was in Basconia. I remember it was my first year league game. And I was like, I'm about to go for 30 tonight. EuroLeague?
No, but look. So I remember
that Bryant was hedging hard as hell. I said, oh, this is different.
No, but I remember this play like it happened yesterday. So they're posting up. Now, actually, maybe I don't remember because I don't know who was posting up. But somebody was posting up as a mismatch. I got Bargnani standing there at the top of the key, or at the wing. And Perasovic is like, don't help. So he starts going, he gets to the paint. He's like, help. So I run in to help. They pass it out to Bargnani.
Spray.
Wow.
I think he had 27 that night.
He cooked me, man.
Pretty sure he had 27.
Because I wasn't used to playing against like pick and pop bigs.
Yeah.
At the time it was only like.
If he would have stayed healthy that year, we would have had a really good team. Yeah. We did have a good team. We made the playoffs, but
it wasn't
a buzzsaw of Seska.
He was ahead of his time. There wasn't a lot of stretch bigs at the time. So
yeah, true.
He was cooking, and then they ended up winning the game. So Yeah, but that season we played Olympiacos. I thought it was gonna be my revenge moment.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, here we go. It's time to get my get back. And game 4, we played in Efes. So we played game 1, we lost. Game 2, we won. Game 3, we won. All we had to do was win game 4 at home.
At the crib.
We started up 17. Lost the lead. Slowly they chipped away. I'm sitting there like,
wait, so y'all were
veteran team upset.
and everybody for some reason thinks I won a championship with them. I never did. There's like, you weren't part of one of those back-to-backs. I was like, no, I wish I was.
Right.
But so yeah, so that season we lost everything.
Ottoman comes in.
Ottoman comes in the middle of the season, and
tell us about. I heard you had some crazy practices that year.
So
when he came in.
So before he came to the team, I was hearing things about him. I was like, oh, he's crazy. He's gonna work you guys. It's gonna be really bad, and he doesn't care about the players and all stuff, whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna go in with any, prejudgments. I'm just gonna let him show me the kind of person he is,
right,
or the kind of coach he is. So he comes in, and I'm like, he must not care about us because we're not his players or something. Because it was middle of the season. It was funny because we actually won the cup.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I played
as the coach.
Yeah. So he came in. We hadn't been winning anything. We won the cup out of nowhere, and we beat Gallo, we beat Fenner, and I think we beat Karsheka in the championship. And or who was it? Turk Telecom or whoever.
Was it Bamford? With Jordan Theodore?
No, the year before we lost them in the finals. Oh no, in the cup. But yeah, so we won the championship. Is another outstanding thing. And I'm thinking, all right, yeah, now we won that. Now we're gonna have the winning vibes. We're gonna win for the rest of the EuroLeague. We lost more.
Packed them up.
I was upset, and I was like, all right. Ottoman he's a coach that he doesn't have a real personal relationship with any of his players, from what I've known.
It's on the court.
On the court.
Yeah.
Just on the court, he just puts players where they need to be, tells them what he expects of you, and that's it. You go out and do it.
Roll the ball out.
Go out and get it done.
Yeah. And
he's completely results based. He's come in the locker room so many times. Bryant Dunston, 2 rebounds, 25 minutes. What is this? What can I do? What is this? So there's nothing.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so I learned from the beginning, from that year, and then a little bit from the next year after that to, all right, just don't worry about the stuff that he says. Just go out and focus on your game and just try and play as good as you can. Do your preparations the right way. Come to practice, be professional, whatever. And then when you start winning, he's completely the best coach ever.
Yep.
He's like, oh, because I was like, there was one thing I had to do. I had to go to Greece to get something. I was gonna get married that summer, so I need to go to Greece to get some paper signed or whatever. I said, hey coach, I know we got a game coming up. Can I go to Greece and whatever? He's like, okay, as long as you come back for the game, it's no problem for me. I was like, all right. So I go talk to Osgood, and Osgood talks to coach, and coach is like,
Cool. 3rd year goes terrible. You do a couple of good things. Now 4th year is coming in. Now you sign a whole nother group of guys.
Yeah.
Micic, Larkin, Boubois, Pleiss. Kruno was there with you.
Yeah,
Kruno was there. He stayed with you.
Yeah.
Mormon. Anderson.
Yeah. Brock was there with us. Brock was there with us.
But he was there with you.
He was there with us, yeah.
So y'all three, you, Kruno, and Brock were the last 3 standing up that team.
Yeah.
And then obviously Doge. And then a whole new group of guys.
Yeah.
And what's your ideology then, thinking-wise?
I'm thinking, all right, we lost everything last year, and we had a terrible season. I don't care about stats. I don't care about numbers. All I care about is winning.
Yeah.
I'm not losing another year. I was like, there's no way I'm losing another year. I was like, we have to get close. We have to do something. We have to make some type of waves this year. And that whole summer, I'm busting my ass the whole summer. It was crazy. And I was really happy with the strides I made. I was healthy. I felt like I was kind of in my prime, whatever. I was like, okay, this has got to be it. This has got to be it.
Do you remember our text message conversation?
Yeah. So the GM, Alper, he's like, hey, I need you to convince Shane Larkin to come to the team. I was like, I don't know him. He's like, look, we need him. He was like, try and say something to get it done, whatever. And
So at the time you're in the NBA.
That time I was in Boston.
And
I was in Boston at that time.
You were still signed, or you were about to?
Nah, that summer I played the season in Boston. We lost in the conference finals, and I blew my shoulder out. So
a screen on Joel.
Screen on Joel Embiid. Clip that. So blew up my left shoulder or right shoulder. Chasing this way. One of my shoulders. I blew out my shoulder. And I'm sitting there, and I had a really good end of that season. And I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking like, I could probably sign back in Boston, maybe have some other offers because I had a really good playoffs. And I'm sitting there with a torn up shoulder, and my agent's like,
nothing.
You got to get your physical. And my shoulder just looks bad. So keeps going. I signed nothing. And then I say, all right, what's going on in Europe? Because I already was there in Baskonia. I enjoyed it. So then I say, what's going on in Europe? And then he tells me Milan is interested in you. And Barcelona at that time was gone. So it was Milan and Efes. And I was like, Efes is in Turkey, right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. I promise. I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. So I'm thinking like Milan. So we get into negotiations with Milan about money, length of the contract, blah, blah, blah. Then I get a text from this guy. And then you want to tell a story about that?
I don't remember
so
the word.
So you really should get a percentage of his contract,
right?
basically.
I should. But I don't remember the exact word for word. Maybe you do.
So basically it was like, because there were some things that happened in Turkey years prior. So I had concerns about Turkey and how the lifestyle was and everything. And I had noticed that he was there for a few years. So I asked a bunch of questions about lifestyle on the court, off the court, how he felt, where he lived, a bunch of things, because I just wasn't prone to what Istanbul had been. And then he had just convinced me that like, at the end of the day, it's just as good as any other city over here. It's just about the perception about it. Tell me you're safe. His wife was there. They had loved it for multiple years. And I was just like, you know what? I looked at the roster. I was like, you know what? This looks like a pretty good roster. I know I had a couple former NBA guys there. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that could work. But if it wasn't for Bryant texting me in that conversation and making me feel comfortable about everything for me to come here, I definitely want to come. So a large part of me even signing in the first place was from that conversation. Because I didn't talk to Ataman. I didn't talk to Alper. I didn't talk to anybody from Efes. The only person I spoke to from Efes before I came here was Bryant Dunston.
So Bryant Dunston, the GM.
The only guy. So
I really didn't know that.
Bryant was the guy that pushed it over the edge. And then I remember I was in the Cayman Islands with my family. And then I accepted the deal. And I told my mom and dad and my sisters and my best friend, I was like, yeah, next year I'm going to go play in Turkey. And they were like, Turkey? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go play in Turkey next year. It's cool, man. Nice city, a lot of malls, restaurants, all is cool. I was talking to one of the guys that play there, and they were like, Turkey, like, how do they get around over there? Like, what's going on? They were acting like it was like a third world country, but it just goes to show, like,
how the media portrays stuff that goes on.
Exactly.
That's another thing to speak on is Turkey. Wherever you play, the media, you guys know, portrays it as something that it usually isn't. All these cities are very nice cities with very great cultures and very respectable people.
Exactly.
So yeah, anyway, so fourth year comes. What happens that year?
The golden era.
So the golden era. That's the beginning of the golden era.
Yeah. So meet all the guys. And from preseason, we're all like, you know, it's like this. Like we had dinner together, and like it would be a regular team meal. Normally everybody's on their phones or talking to their peoples, whatever. And then as soon as they say you can go, you get up and leave. They say we can go, we're still sitting there talking to each other. Yeah. We're having conversations, hypotheticals. We talking about random stuff, NBA stuff. Like it's cool. And I'm like, the chemistry is really good on this team. And I see it on the basketball court because of the way Ataman's system is. It's competitive. Yeah. You fighting for everything. You trying to get some minutes. Like everybody's like, we don't know who's gonna start.
Yeah,
it's all based on what we see out there. So guys are like getting scrappy out there. Guys are going at it. So it was really cool, and that competitiveness between each other kind of like built our foundation.
Absolutely.
And then we went from there and started like smacking teams because of that. And nobody expected us to be good. We were bad the year before, and we had a new team.
The worst.
Yeah, I mean, no, not the worst.
Yes, you were.
Not the worst.
You finished last in your league.
No, we weren't.
Yes, you were.
Hey,
Bro, I think you had the bottom the year before,
Nah.
bro. I promise you.
not the worst. Look, first of all, okay, you weren't there. You weren't on the team, but we beat Baskonia in the last game to get us 7 wins that made us not the worst.
Ah, okay.
So, and it was funny because I think Rodrigue Beaubois, his daughter was born, and I think I told him after the game, after we won, I was like, "Hey man, congratulations on the baby." He didn't know me or anything. He was like, "All right, thanks, man." And little did I know, next year he's on my team, so maybe that was a little something too. So, but yeah, so we ended up getting to the Final Four. We played Barcelona, right? In the
playoffs.
In the playoffs.
Yep.
Chris Singleton was on that team.
Yep.
Foreshadowing, you know.
Yep.
Beat them, got to the Final Four. Historical moment we here. And we think
The year before, you were the worst team. So
Yep.
this next year, you're in the
In the
out of
final.
nowhere. Yeah. So nobody expected it. Ottoman, the whole season, we're the best team in Europe. We're the best team in Europe.
Play Fenner in the semifinal.
Played Fender in the semifinals. Beat them.
Cooked them.
Cooked them.
Get them out of here.
So everybody's like, I think because we beat Fenner, and because it was Fenner, everybody was like, all right, we good now.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, we can't finish lower than Fenner finished.
Yeah.
You know? So
Also, everyone relaxed. Like everyone was.
Yeah, exactly.
But that rivalry, the 3 years before, we lost every time we played against Fenner.
Yeah.
And it wasn't close.
That was
They had-
Obradovic time. So,
Obradovic time, Ekpe Udo,
Bob Vesely, Jatome,
all of
Lucas,
them,
Bobby Dixon,
the God Squad.
Bogdan. Yeah.
They was cooking us, and I told Ekpe, I was like, bro, I remember we were at the free throw line, and I was exhausted. I'm sitting there I'm like, bro, I'm looking at the clock. We down 20. It's like a minute to go in the game. I said, bro, I'm not losing like this no more to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, we'll see.
Mm.
And then he left. He went to the NBA, so I was like, yes. So then we started winning. But we had a different team then. So now, so we beat Fenner. We go to the final, and then we lost in a tough game.
And Kyle Hines is on that other team.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
So it
Y'all
was
lost to Cheska.
Lost to Cheska.
Y'all were going under Will's screens and letting him shoot.
Under Will Clyburn screens.
Yeah.
Game plan was to let Will Clyburn shoot.
Yeah.
He's not a shooter. He's a slasher.
That was
Guy hit
fine.
6
Look,
threes.
but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. He had a big game, whatever. But Corey Higgins having 20, that shouldn't have happened because we know he's a killer. We know he's gonna score. So we should stop him, and then Will let Will do what he wants. But
Yeah.
anyway, they had a bunch of players step up for them. They won. Kyle got another championship. That the only reason that I'm happy for Kyle, and I was happy because Othello was on that team.
Mhm.
And Othello, that's my guy, man. So
Played together in Olympiacos, right?
played together in Olympiacos, and I was really happy for him. And I was like, if I had to lose to anybody, you know what I'm saying? I was happy it was him. So he got him a chip. So it was,
First year in Efes, losing the finals. Second year in Efes, coming back after the finals. We come back, start the season amazingly. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Bryant Dunston goes missing. What happened, Bryant?
so there was a crazy tragedy that happened that one day, but leading up to the tragedy was kind of like, it was something happening. So after every practice, normally I go take a shower. Finish cold is my ritual. You know, I finish the shower cold, makes my body feel good. Feel like I'm good for the next practice, for the next game, whatever. And that's kind of been my thing. I didn't really do cold tub too much. It's not really. Sometimes I did it, but it wasn't too much. You know, they get this cryo sauna machine. Cryotherapy, whatever.
Cryotherapy, like liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, something like this. And
You had never done it before.
never did it before. But Alec Peters did it all the time. He talked about it a lot. I think Tibor also did it. They was like, yeah, it's great. And the trainers were telling me, hey, man, you should try it. You know, you're getting older. You got to take care of your body, whatever. I'm like, nah, it's not my thing, whatever. I don't think so. So it happened like that for like maybe a week, where they kept like pressuring me, telling me, hey, try this. So one day I didn't have anything to do. I was supposed to meet the guys for dinner at one point. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go do this real quick, and then I'll go to dinner with the Turkish guys, with Sertaj and a bunch of guys. So I have no idea about anything about this machine, about how I'm supposed to be, whatever. So I ask Alec, what am I supposed to do? He's like, you go in there, you just put on your tights, whatever, some socks. Just go in there and just, and it'll take care of your body. I was like, all right. I asked Suat, I was like, hey, what do I do here? He said, go in there. I think it was 3 minutes, right? He said, go in there 3 minutes. So you come out, you're gonna feel better. All right.
Just stand still, don't move or anything.
Yeah, he says, go in there, 3 minutes, come out. Simple enough. I go in there. I was like, man, this is cold. This is really cold. And then I don't feel my body anymore. So the time's going by, I don't feel anything, I'm just standing there. 3 minutes goes by, he's like, you're finished. I'm like, all right. He opens the door, step out. I can't move. What do you mean? What do you mean you can't move? I can't move. He's like, stop playing, man, come on. He grabs me and starts pulling me out of the machine. I'm like a grandpa, like walking out.
Really?
I'm coming out like shaking. He's like, it's not that cold. He's like, stop being a girl. I'm like, all right. So he looks at my arms. He's like, oh shit. I'm like, what? He's like, you have like frost on the back of your arms.
Yeah.
So he's like wiping off the frost. And then he's like,
I was in the locker room. I remember.
Yeah. He's like, your skin's a little darker, but he's like, I don't know, maybe it's from the cold or whatever. I'm like, okay. I go in, I sit down, and I'm sitting there, like my body feels weird. I feel like I can't like control myself, like, And I told Alec, I was like, I don't feel good, bro. He's like, what do you mean? I was like my feet hurt, like my arms hurt, like everything hurts. He's like, maybe this is like a weird reaction to the thing, whatever. I'm like, I don't know, let's see. So I get dressed. I was like, maybe when I warm up, I'll feel better. So I start driving to the restaurant, and my left foot is throbbing. Mm. So I'm like, man, this hurts, but I'm driving. What am I supposed to do? So I like take my shoe off, take my sock off. On the back of my foot is like a big blister, like this, and it's like purple. I'm like, that's not good. So I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? So I go to the dinner. We eat dinner real quick. I tell Serta, I was like, I feel terrible, bro. I think this is bad. We leave. We're supposed to leave the next day to go to Greece to play Olympiacos. So I get home. I call the doctor. I'm like, yo, you need to come here now. He's like, what's wrong? Because I got undressed and I checked in the mirror and I see black, 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 black. Everything is like changed color to my skin. So he's like, it's late. Like, why do you want me to come to your house? I sent him the picture. I'll be right over. Yeah. He comes over. He looks at the skin and everything. He's like, oh man, let's put some cream on this. He put some cream on everything. He wraps up. He drains the blister, wraps it up. He's like, maybe the compression will help, whatever. He's like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, all right, we got to fly, whatever. Anna's already in Greece. My family's there. So we go to Greece. And I don't think I did shoot around. I didn't do shoot around. But I was like, I don't feel so bad. Like I'm doing my movements and everything. And I was like, I feel like I'm okay. Just my arms sting when you touch them, whatever. The skin ended up like moving. So it's like the skin is like halfway off a little bit on both my arms, on my ass, and my foot is like, they're still draining it every time because it keeps building up blood. So we have the game. I'm like, I think I could play. Everybody's like, you're tripping, man. You gonna play like that? I was like, nah, I think I can play. I was like, yo, I need to take something, bro. I was like, what are those pills that you take, the Voltarens, whatever? I was like, yeah, let me get one of those. I never take these things. I never take pills, whatever. I was like, all right, let me get one of these. I take it. I can't feel anything from here down. I'm good. I was like, I can play. I was like, okay, let me just wear something long sleeve, like maybe right here, just so they don't see the things and then start asking questions. So in the game, I'm playing. Because I don't feel anything in my legs, I'm cool. I'm running everything. And for some reason, it feels like everybody's hitting me. Every rebound I get, somebody's slapping me, and it burns. Everything I touch is like somebody's sticking needles in my arms. Yeah. So ended up, I think, I might have had a double-double that game.
You was hooping.
I caught it crazy. I still remember the video. I caught an alley-oop off that. And I'm not a big lob catcher, but I caught an alley-oop, and I was hyped. We won the game. Chris was there. He's like, bro, you're stupid. He's like, you're stupid. I was like, nah, man. I was like, we did it, whatever. Then we get in the shower, pause, and everybody's like, I'm like, what? I'm like, what? The skin came off completely on this arm, on my ass, and then my foot is like so much pain. I'm like, yeah, I can't play no more. I was like, I gotta go see a doctor. So we go to Istanbul, go see a doctor. They're like, yeah, there's like, you might have frostbite. And I was like, okay, what do I have to do? It's like, okay, we gotta check everything. We gotta keep putting the cream on. You gotta go to hyperbaric chamber to do this therapy to help the skin grow back. They're like, you're gonna be out for a little while. I was like, oh man. I was like, okay. At the time, my wife is pregnant, so I'm like, okay, at least I get to spend time with her.
And the team's winning at the time?
The team is killing at the time.
Strong.
I think I was in Maccabi and I was like, kept wearing like, where's Dunston?
Yeah. So in the beginning of the year,
nothing ever came out.
Yeah. So I guess they wanted to keep everything quiet for obvious reasons. Yeah. But at the time, because we had Tibor, we had Sertaj, and I was playing a lot in the beginning, in the first few games. And Sertaj that year, in the beginning of the year, he was like, I could see his face, like he was frustrated. He was like, man, I'm just trying to finish the season. And he wasn't really having a good time. But then the team needed him a little bit more. I think he started to get a little more comfortable with his game and everything. And he started playing out of his mind. I think he started playing out of his mind. Chris was playing everybody, Mitch is out of his mind. Like everybody's playing out of their minds. Roddy. And we were looking like, that was going to be the easiest. That was going to be the easiest season. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is the championship year. This is it. I was like, I have to make it back before the season's over. And I was like, I don't want to mess up anything, but I want to try and get back. But 2 weeks passed in Istanbul, and nothing was changing. They cut off the part of the skin that was damaged. The arms were healing, but the foot was really a problem. So they were like, okay, maybe you have to get an MRI. I sit in the MRI machine, and it's like pain you have to be in there for what, 30 minutes? Mm-hmm. The entire 30 minutes felt like torture. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there just like torture. I'm like trying not to move. They're like, don't move. I'm like, I can't. Like it hurts. And they're like, if you move, we have to do it again. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't. So I don't know why it hurt so much. Maybe it was the position they put it in, or maybe because the blood was rushing down to the spot. I don't know what it was, but I called my agent after that, and I was like, we have to get me to somebody who knows what's going on here, because they clearly don't know what they're doing. And they're like, okay, we're going to Germany. He's like, you got a flight tomorrow morning. You're going to go to Germany. You're going to see the best doctors there. They're in the mountains. They know about frostbite. I was like, all right. My wife, I'm like, you can stay here. You can go back to Greece. You can do whatever. She's like, no, I'm coming with you. And I was like, you're pregnant. Mm-hmm. She's like, yeah, but I want to be with you. This is important. Yeah. Like, this is really important. I was like, okay.
Shout out Anna.
Yeah, for sure. So we go to Germany. Shout out Alper too, because he came with me too. He came there to Germany and talked to the doctor. The first thing the doctor says is, we have to check to see how deep the frostbite is. If it touches any ligaments or any of the bone or anything, we have to amputate the leg from the knee down.
Crazy.
What was going through?
From, I don't know, here down, I think.
Jesus.
So what was going through your mind? Like, you went from your team's horrible to now we're winning to you might not have a leg.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus
so in this time, I got like really connected to my faith, and I was like really leaning on God, and something told me, because I could feel everything. I understood my body. I could feel everything. And I said, there's nothing stopping me or hindering me at all. So I don't think it's that bad. But I still didn't know for sure. But when the doctor said that, my wife broke out in tears. Alper broke out in tears. Everybody's crying around me. I'm like, I said, yo, I'm good. Don't worry. I said, I'm gonna be all right. And so going to surgery. Surgery is at 7 a.m. I finish the surgery. I wake up. It's like 12. I'm eating lunch. Anna's like, so what did they say? I was like, I have no idea. I was like, when is the doctor supposed to come? We asked them. They're like, he's not coming until 7. I'm like, 7? I have to sit here and wait.
He just told you that he's gonna take your leg off.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sitting here. I can't feel anything. I don't know what's going on. I can see I still have a foot.
Well,
but I don't know what happened. Luckily, they said the damage was only outside. There's nothing internal, and I was able to. I was like, well, can I play basketball again? He's like, we'll see.
Really?
He's like, it all depends on how you heal. He's like, if we put the skin and everything back together and you feel good and everything is good when you press down on it and you get the strength back, he's like, then you should be good. He's like, but
Didn't they have to use skin from another?
yeah,
It's skin graft, right?
yeah. So so Dr. Gabel in Germany did a great job. Shout out to him.
Oh.
He really hooked me up, and also Johan from Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
He was there for me. He helped me out and give me all the connections that I needed, and Michis was a part of that too. He's important with that. And I got back to playing after 6 months, I think it was. Got back, worked my ass off to get back. I was like, okay, I'm not in great shape, but I'm here, So whatever. I think we played Maccabi on the road. My first game back.
We lost.
Was it during
We
COVID?
lost.
Yeah.
Wait, look, check this out. We lost my first game back. I was like, damn, we lost, but I'm back. I was like, I need to play in front of the fans. We come back, play the game in front of the fans. We win. Olympiacos. We win the game. Next thing you know, COVID breaks out. Everything shuts down. No more games, no more basketball. Your dream season where you're winning everything and you're about to win the championship over. Shane Larkin's MVP.
Gone.
I was like, okay, I understand you don't want to reward us the championship because it was, okay, you never know what can happen. But there was nobody close to you in the MVP race, and it was really unfair, in my opinion, that you didn't get the trophy for that season. That's just what I'm saying. That's just what I believe.
I feel that.
Yeah. So, and at the time, I don't know how old I am at the time, but I'm getting up there. I'm like, I don't know how many more seasons I got left. I was like, especially after this happened, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we're gonna have a chance like this again. These things don't happen every season. I was like, maybe guys are gonna want to leave now because we're playing better. They're gonna get some more money other places. It's gonna mess up the chemistry. I was like, it's gonna be a disaster. And that summer, I think everybody left. Everybody left and went back to the States. I stayed in Istanbul for a little while because I had my daughter, and then I was working out, trying to get back in rhythm. Tibor was there with me. We were working out a lot, and then, when the season started back up, when the next year came,
You was back out there.
we was back out there.
The next season, the whole team comes back, right? And you guys obviously have championship aspirations. And kind of tell us what happens during that season.
It was a weird year because of COVID. We didn't have fans at the games and stuff, but we still had the same focus. Guys were really hungry. We wanted to prove that, the year before we were going to win a championship and there was nobody going to stop us. So the season, it wasn't like as dominant as the year before, but I think we were pretty good throughout the year. We came up as we normally do. At the end of the year, we got hot, and
Played Barcelona in the championship.
Yeah, we played Barcelona in the championship. I remember because earlier in the season, I ended up having to have goggles because I got poked in the eye in Olympiacos again. I tore a retina in my eye, so I had to have surgery.
So you had the rec specs on.
I had the goggles on, and I remember playing against Barcelona in the championship game. I think I had a nice lefty.
Yeah.
A nice lefty hook against Pau Gasol with the goggles on. And we won the championship, and it was cool because, it's like achieving something that we've been trying to do for numerous years. What I've been trying to get for years and years, and it was cool to do it with the group that we had.
And then, so you come back after the COVID, you fight back after frostbite, you fight back after the goggles, you win your first championship in Efes. Everything feels good. You come back for another season. So now speak to us about that second season of the arrival of Mr. Bryant. Comes in after
Y'all had a rough start.
Games.
I think it was
0-4.
I was in Milwaukee. I actually watched the game. Y'all playing Barcelona. I turned it off. I'm like, dang, they lost. I checked the score the next day. I'm like, they won? What are you talking about?
We were down a lot in that championship game, but
you started getting foul bait and started running to everybody.
Full speed ahead.
So but you could start. I mean, I guess we start off 0-4, and then I joined the team. There's a lot of injuries, and like you said, Ottoman rolls the ball out. You kind of find your role where you fit to help the team, and you kind of rally around each other and figure it out there. And then I think that year, Russia gets taken out of the league, so we get bumped up a few spots. Kind of helps us a little bit. But yeah, go ahead.
So a lot of people talked about that, and they were like, "Oh, if the war didn't happen, you guys wouldn't have been in the playoffs." And I was like, "We were on the cusp. We were right there. We're like 10th, I think."
Yeah.
But we lost to all 3 of the Russian teams, so they were all ahead of us. So when they got out, we went up to 7. You know, it was like, you know, it was an unfortunate incident, but it benefited us in basketball.
The reason I don't like that though is because y'all want to say as much as y'all want to say about the war and how that bumped us up, but bro, if COVID never happened, like what y'all want to say about that? Nobody want to talk about that, but everyone want to talk about that.
Right,
so
but like, there's always something that somebody can say. So you're never gonna.
And you still gotta go play. You still gotta go win. You still gotta win in the playoffs.
Exactly.
You still gotta win Final Four. So it is unfortunate on both sides, the COVID side of it and the war when it popped off, but. It's life, bro. Like at the end of the day, we gotta deal with it how we gotta deal with it. So.
And playing against Milan in the playoffs.
I was gonna say that. So we played Milan in the finals against Mr. Hines.
Yeah.
And then how's that feel?
That was cool. But it was weird because their team was really injured, and we knew that.
Right.
We knew that going in.
Delaney, Abs.
They had a bunch of guys. That told me it was like just coming back, and like
he went crazy.
He kind of forced it.
Game 3,
oh my gosh. Yeah. He went crazy. But so we got a good matchup playing against them, and made it back to the Final Four. And then we did it again. We did it.
Get to the Final Four. Vasa saves us on the last game winner.
Was the game tied then?
Nah,
we didn't
need it. We didn't need it.
We just needed a bucket. It was tied.
Okay, it was tied. We just needed a bucket.
No,
just needed a bucket.
Step back 3, fall on the floor.
In his home city. What a
that was
a moment.
You
Shout
can't,
out Vasa.
Yeah, you can't.
Shout out my boy Voss.
You can't write that any better. You can't write that any better.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So,
and then the championship game.
That
might have been the worst championship game in one in EuroLeague history.
Dog fight, boy.
Everybody struggling to get baskets.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
So we win the championship. Everyone's excited. The next year is we're going for the 3-peat.
Sign Will Clyburn.
Now you have the 3-headed monster with Shane, Vasa, and Will. Shane's coming off an injury.
The hand surgery.
But the hype's like, man, why can't we do it again? We don't make the playoffs.
It was crazy, man, because I felt like we obviously had the talent. We had the talent to do it, but I feel like it just wasn't. There was something that was missing. What do you think was missing?
I think for me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, it's kind of like won everything. Like the itch wasn't like we need to get there, win. Like, don't worry, we're gonna turn it on.
Exactly.
We're gonna turn it on right when we need to.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shoot, it's too late. Everyone's already rolling, like you know. So
absolutely.
And you saw that in our games too. Like, okay, all right, third quarter, 5 minutes, right out of here.
Yeah.
Whereas,
but I felt like it was like towards the end of the season, towards the end of the EuroLeague season, it was like, all right, if this team loses and then we win this and then we do this, if you start doing that, then you probably you know.
And I feel like people started figuring like before. Didn't you say they were hedging you and letting you get to your shot? Now like switch.
Right.
Do something.
It's like something was so set in stone for a 3-year span from that COVID season that got canceled to the 2 championships. It was like we were running through Europe, like running through everything, killing everybody on top of the world. And then I think people started figuring out like we got to do something different. We got to make them play different. We can't let Shane, Vasa, these guys play pick and roll. We got to make Efes do something different. So then I think they adjusted to us. And then we were so like on top of the world that I don't think we took it serious enough. We were like, let them do whatever they want to do. Like nobody's messing with us. Yeah. And I think when you get comfortable, I think that's the worst place you can be in sports 100%. Because people catch up to you and then it's like, all right, now we got to try to figure something else out and it's too late
and stuff like that.
And
hey, big shout out to you too, because you emerged as a you know, I know you have all the skills because you work like a veteran, like you have all the tools, and like you're kind of like a point. Like you're an all-purpose player. Like you come to the gym, you can get the rebound, you can push it up, you can initiate the offense. But when you first got to FS, I didn't think you could do that.
Yeah.
But you really showed me. You know,
I appreciate
the kind of player that you are.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a difficult role because when I came there, people were injured. So I mean, I think my first game at Unix, I took 12 shots. Like I don't think I took 12 shots the rest of that whole year. But it was for me. It was more so like, okay, I'm on a team who's won before. Let me learn. Let me figure out how I can help the team win. maybe my role will get bigger the next year. Maybe it won't.
Right.
But if we win, everyone benefits from it. So that was my my mentality going into that, and it
And then
wasn't
in the
easy.
biggest moments against Olympiacos in the semifinal, I don't know if you remember, but my guy comes out with a quick. We were down. They were cooking us.
Yeah.
Sub Elijah into the game, and then boom, instantly change the energy, starts going offensively, and then so it's just being ready in your moment. The ultimate pro.
I think embracing like for the longest when I was there, I was kind of like, I never get the ball, I never do this. I'm like, I'm gonna get grenades. So figure out how to shoot grenades, like master. And that's the biggest thing is like starring your role, whatever that is. And I feel like a lot of players have a hard time doing that because they want to be the guy. Well, guys who have started in the role have made a lot of money overseas and in the NBA. So that's the biggest thing. But like we said, after the championship, we don't make it to the playoffs the next year. Ottoman actually ends up taking the job to Panathinaikos. That year we win the Turkish League. We win the Turkish League that year. Will gets injured, and you're up for a contract. So, and we're getting a new coach, Erdem Can, out of Turk Telecom, who made it to the semifinals of the Euro, the final of the Euro Cup.
Yep.
So he's becoming the coach. And what are you thinking? What's going through your head? I mean, you've been in Efes for 8 years.
8 years at a time.
So what's the thought process there?
I'm thinking, all right, I got I don't know how many years I have left, but I want to be here. I want to retire here. So I gotta talk to the new coach and see what he's thinking about. I already know he's bringing in Tyreek Jones. I already knew he was coming in. And I was like, I have to see what his roster is going to look like or what he wants from the bigs, whatever. And I was like, I can be there and help where I can. So I had a meeting with him. He talked to me. He told me, yeah, I want you to be like the big brother to the team. You can be around, and I can't promise you that many minutes, but maybe in the Turkish League games you can play a lot and stuff, whatever. I was like, all right, that's cool with me. Like I understand, the phases of the game, and I know where I'm at in my career. So whatever you can give me to play, I can handle that, and just be a leader and just continue to keep the culture together, But after negotiating, and it didn't really have to do with money, because I was going to accept a low offer, what I thought was like kind of low for what I felt like I valued myself as, and my importance to the team and to the club. Then the offer was just completely off the table, out of nowhere, and I was like, I was confused. I was like, what happened? So when I started talking to the GM, he tells me, there's nothing I can do. The board decided that they want to go a different direction, and we'll post something on Instagram for you, and thank you. And whenever you retire, you can come back and.
It's after 8 years of service.
Yeah. He's like, whenever you retire, you can come back and we'll have a nice thing for you. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, how'd that make you feel, bro?
I was like, it was tough, man. It was hard because I knew if it was going to come to an end that it wouldn't be like this. I thought they'd be like, listen, maybe we'll come in and have a meeting or something and talk to me face to face. Don't let me go home in the summer, leave all my stuff in Istanbul, think I'm coming back, talk to the coach and tell me your plans on defense and all this stuff, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, nah, you're not coming back. So now I gotta ship all my stuff from Turkey to Italy where I signed. That's a waste of money. That's a waste of space because all the stuff couldn't even fit there. Then it's like, all right, we gotta like leave a bunch of stuff. Like I get rid of things. My family has to come with me. I uproot everybody. Like, gotta go learn something new culture, new team. Like it was just really unexpected, and I thought it was gonna be a lot different. But when I talked to Alper before playing against you guys the first time, when I was coming to Istanbul and all the fans were expecting some big thing, whatever, and I told them, look, we're gonna do this the right way when I retire. We can do something and I have the jersey, whatever, and that'll be cool. But like right now, it's just you know how it is against the opponent. We need this win. I'm gonna try and get this win. We end up losing by 30, but but yeah, we ended up losing. But that was the whole situation, and I saw all the people on social media like saying, "Oh, this is disrespectful to Dunston. You didn't at least give him something or a picture or something, whatever." Yeah. And I appreciated the support, but we already talked about it behind closed doors, so it was cool.
You leave Efes, you go to Italy, playing Bologna with Luca Banchi. And how was that experience?
But that wasn't the initial deal. So
Really?
Scariolo was the coach.
True.
So
True.
So
when he said y'all weren't good enough.
yeah. So look, I
True.
signed.
Very true.
Was Lumberg there when you were there?
Yeah. So I signed with Bologna, and they told me, okay, you're going to be the third big man. We already got two guys ahead of you, and you're just going to come in, fill up the spot, whatever. If you can play, whatever. In my head, I'm thinking I'm about to take the starting spot. You know what I'm talking about? but I wasn't. That's just how I think.
Right.
So I go in. I'm just gonna work hard and see where it gets me. 3 days after Scariolo's there, he's gone. Apparently in the media, he said something about the team. He would start bad-mouthing the team and the players that were picked, and it wasn't his decision to take these players and all this stuff, whatever. So I don't know the backstory, but that's what I heard. So I was like, all right, you're out. And they signed Banchi. And I was like, damn. I said, I have a previous relationship with him, but it was like a little tension. So I didn't know how he was gonna feel about me. But he was cool. He was like, yeah. He's like, I wanted you in Milan. It was me that wanted you, not the organization or anything. He's like, I wanted you because I know you're a good player, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So, now playing on the team with Daniel Hackett, with Shengelia,
right.
a bunch of guys, Ife Lundberg, a bunch of guys on the team. It was cool. Jordan Mickey, everybody we were a really good team. Yeah, man. And Bellinelli is a great captain, great leader. And we came together in the beginning of the season, and it worked out well until the break. After the break, then everything just went to hell. It was like we became a completely different team, and we started giving up. We started like, if a team is if we get up by 10, it's like, all right, now it's time for me to start my shit. So now everybody starts going in their bag and stuff, and it's like we're losing games because of this, because we're not connected anymore. Right. So we lost the connection. We ended up losing, and that was that.
So another season goes by. You play your season in Italy, have a good season, whatever. Now you sign in Zalgiris with Trinchieri. Looking forward to the up and coming year. What do you think about this summer? How is that? Transfers? What teams do you think are going to be good? What teams do you think are going to overperform, underperform? How do you guys think you're going to be?
I think we're going to be really good.
Really?
I really think that we have
make the playoffs good.
Yeah, I think so. I believe that. Win the championship good.
Woo!
Say that.
That's what you got to speak it. You got to speak it into existence.
Manifestation.
Man. Yeah, that's been my whole career. So, I think we got a really good team. We have a lot of guys who are hungry, and we play together. And we play a style and a system. It's under control, but it's also allowing you to show your game. So I think once we figure it out, because we're still getting to learn each other. But once we figure it out, it's gonna be really good. Especially defensively, I think we're going to be really good, really good.
And what do you think about the rest of the EuroLeague? We had a lot of guys from the NBA come over. That's the
thing. That's the key. I feel like NBA players coming over here is hit or miss. It's like you're either like so stuck in your ways that you can't adjust, or you take up to it easily and you pick up the game and your game translates very easily. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. You guys got a couple NBA guys on your team, right?
I got a question for you, just to backtrack real quick. So obviously you played for Ottoman for how many years?
5.5.
5 years. What was your craziest story that you had with him in terms of, camp, practices, stuff like that?
Oh, there was one. There was one. We played on Christmas. Played at home. We didn't. So apparently he didn't know it was Christmas. So we ended up losing the game. Lost to a team that we should have beat, underperformed, whatever. And we had plans to go to celebrate, afterwards, because it's Christmas. You gotta enjoy. We lose the game. Coach takes 30 minutes to come into the locker room afterwards.
Punishing.
Because he's sitting there letting us stew in it. We're sitting there waiting,
roasting the disappointment.
He comes in. He says, "You didn't want to run in practice in the game, so you're gonna run in practice. Don't take your jerseys off. Go straight to the practice gym."
Oh my God.
Shane says, we ain't going. No, he said, you got me fucked up. And I stood up next to him because my locker's next to him. I was like, yeah, we ain't going. And that was the first time I really like stood up against like the coach, because I don't you're normally like what the coach says goes. And I usually follow those things, but I was pissed off at that time. So I was like, you know what, man?
When you were a child, coming overseas to play basketball, no one really knows what that looks like in terms of America. They don't portray that. So what was your welcome to overseas moment from your career so far, what was your welcome to overseas moment?
On the court or off the court?
Let's do on the court.
On the court, probably what happened in Greece. Just understanding the business of basketball, understanding how it is over here when you're not getting paid, 2 months behind, and they're still expecting me to go out and perform. This is a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know about. That I'm glad that you guys have a platform now that you're shedding some light on those things.
And then what about off the court?
Off the court, I remember we played against PAOK, and that was our rival at the time. We beat them, and we were driving home. PJ was driving because I didn't have my license at the time. Shout out PJ. And the PAOK fans pulled up in a car, and they were throwing stuff at our car. And I was like,
wow.
I was like, for a basketball game? I was like, this is what you guys are doing? So it was eye-opening, but I understood rivalries after that.
To a different part of the podcast where we do a short answer session. So we're going to give you some quick questions.
Okay.
Quick answers, just some fire-off questions real quick. Let's see what you got for us.
See how quick I can answer these.
All right, so what's the first thing you do in the morning to start your day?
Thank God.
Well,
what's the most unusual item in your gym bag right now?
In my gym bag? I don't know what you call them, the hand...
grip strength.
The grip strength, yeah.
If you weren't a professional athlete, what would your job be?
Wrestler. WWE. Holla at me. I'm still in shape, man. Let's go.
Who is the best player you have ever played against?
Carmelo Anthony.
Where'd you play him?
LaMelo Ball. What?
Where'd you play him?
So he came down after my freshman year at college. He came down and played against us. We played an open gym a couple of times.
You were locking it up?
No. Come on, man. That's mellow. There's nothing I could do. Bro's jab step is crazy, man.
Any pregame rituals or superstitions?
Too many to name.
Name one. The most important.
You still bang the door when you come in?
I haven't done it yet because we haven't started yet.
You know who took over that for you when you slid?
You did?
Yeah, dog.
There you go. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
What's your go-to comfort food after a tough game?
I can name that. No, I don't know that, but I know you're a spaghetti boy. You know, be on the
spaghetti.
The bolognese. The sliders?
Bolognese. So yeah, you take the bolognese from without the spaghetti. You put it on a bun. Barbecue sauce on that thing.
What's one TV show or movie you're obsessed with right now?
Right now, damn. So I was just watching. So Beverly Hills Cop just came out on Netflix. So I was going back and rewatching all of them. So
all right, but now let's skip that one and go to best TV show of all time.
Damn, all time?
All time. Favorite TV show of all time?
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Breaking Bad.
Big Bang Theory.
Prison Break.
Prison Break's up there.
Prison Break is up there. Breaking Bad's up there too.
Favorite hobby or activity that has nothing to do with basketball?
Video games.
You want to get into that when you're done playing, right?
Yeah. Either.
We'll talk about it in part 2.
Yeah, part two.
What's one thing people will be surprised to know about you?
I'm shy.
Really?
You know that.
I mean,
you should know that, right? I don't really. Yeah. I'm shy. I don't really speak that much. I'm kind of reserved, but I'm kind of forced to do it because it's my job. I gotta lead you knuckleheads, sometimes. So on my new team, I'm trying to work on being more open and leading those guys vocally more than just by actions.
You could invite 3 people dead or alive to a dinner party. Who would they be and why?
Oh. And why? A dinner party. Let's see. Jesus. Michael Jackson.
Okay. Mike Jack.
Gotta bring Mike Jack. My guy. And dead or alive. And Michael Jordan. I never met Michael Jordan.
Best song ever and your favorite artist. We know favorite artist, Eminem.
Eminem's my favorite artist. Yeah. Best song ever. Best song ever.
Best song ever. Or album.
Best album ever is the Marshall Mathers LP. He's like,
I do not
disagree.
Who is the most underrated or overrated player ever?
Most overrated and underrated. Both. We need
NBA?
both answers. Wherever you want to talk about it.
Underrated. I feel like everybody says Drew Holiday, just because. But if everybody says it, then he's not underrated, right? But
True.
And overrated. I hate to say it just because the way like things have gone, but Ben Simmons, man, like it's like just get out there and play,
Shaq
bro.
just said about him?
No, I didn't see it.
Shaq said him and Rudy Gobert are bums, complete bums. Wow.
I'm not gonna say he's a bum, but you gotta play, man. Like just play. I know you're getting money. You're still getting money, but
What's one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self outside of basketball?
have more confidence. Have more confidence in your abilities. Trust in your work, and know that you're better than a lot of people out there that are playing this game, even though you might not get the same recognition as other people do.
Is there a hidden talent you have outside of basketball that you'd like to develop further?
Art. I draw a lot. I actually almost went to art school instead of a school for basketball.
Yeah.
So you know how they have those little commercials on TV where they have like, oh, you draw this and send it back in. I sent it back in. I got an A+ on it, and they were like, okay, now you got to pay this amount of money to go to the school. And I was like, I ain't got the money. So I never went to art school.
I did not know that.
I do draw from time to time.
Have you ever had an unforgettable encounter with a fan, and what happened?
Unforgettable? Probably. There was a fan in Istanbul that gave me a drawing of myself, and it's still in my house to this day. Shout out to Damla. I don't know if she's gonna watch this or not, but she gave me a drawing. It was really nice, really lifelike too.
Very nice.
And I think she's a tattoo artist now, so it's cool.
The most embarrassing moment you've had on the court? You got punched on one time. What?
I'm sure I got dunked on plenty of times, but I think somebody called an alley-oop on me. I kind of played it off. Actually, no. There was one. I forgot his name. Who was due to play for Fenner?
John Hamilton.
Yes.
John Hamilton. Bouncy.
Yes. So he caught an offensive rebound under the basket, and me and Chris walled up, but I was closer, so Chris doesn't count in this. I saved you. So I was there, and I was like, he about to just like try and go up. I'm gonna block it. So he went up. I went to block it. Dude punched that joint on me. I was like, damn, I didn't know he could jump like that. He dunked me, man. I was like, oh yeah, I said it's about time for me to get out of this game.
Amongst your teammates has surprised you the most, and why?
My teammates, all my teammates.
Whenever. The Korean code or the Korean whoever you said, whoever you want.
The most. I already said Elijah surprised me a lot, just the way he developed into it. But I shouldn't be surprised because you work at it. That's what happens when you work.
So maybe what guy did you sign with on a team and you're like, damn, I didn't know that guy had this much game? Or damn, I thought he had more game.
Probably you. I think.
Appreciate that.
I didn't know the stuff that I've seen you do on the basketball court is like unbelievable, and I didn't think a player could do that. You know, I didn't know you had all that, man.
Appreciate that, my boy.
Big salute to you, dog, man.
Appreciate that, my dog.
What is your biggest dream for life after your basketball career?
Just for my kids to grow up and be happy. For my wife to stay happy, you know. I want to see my kids grow up and enjoy what they're doing, and love something enough to give their all to it, like I've been doing my whole career.
And if you could choose an actor to play in a movie, who would it be and why?
Samuel L. Jackson. Motherfucker.
All right. Well, I think that is it for the short answer questions.
All right.
And that may be it for the first episode. So I want to thank you all for being here, for watching. I want to appreciate you for being here, my brother. First episode, my dog, forever.
man.
Appreciate you, one of
Appreciate
my favorite
you.
teammates of all time,
Appreciate
brother.
you too,
So
man.
glad for you to be here. Make sure you stay tuned for more people, more guests, a lot of great things coming. So make sure you stay locked in.
And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Remember, keep it off the record.
Dang, there it is.
There we go.